Members of the jury, on August 11, 2014, one person died. One person died as a result of that defendant, Erin Robinson. Erin Robinson was upset. He went to the victim, Raul Ortiz's house, to get in a fight. You're going to hear from numerous witnesses today. The state's going to call Kimberly Boyette. She's going to tell you that she witnessed the fight. She saw Raul Ortiz get beaten. So beaten that his entire face was swollen, both eyes swollen shut. That when they went to go try to resuscitate him, they had to pull his teeth out of his throat. You're then going to hear from Deputy Donald Hess, who arrived first on scene, and he'll describe the scene to you. How there's blood on the grass, how the victim looked. You'll get to see those pictures. Then you're going to hear from Danielle Reynolds, and she's going to tell you the events leading up to it. What caused this defendant to kill Raul Ortiz? A minor incident between Mr. Ortiz and his girlfriend at a Circle K earlier that day. Approximately no more than 10 seconds sent that defendant into such a rage that he beat Raul Ortiz to death. You're going to hear from Dr. Krasowski, who's the medical examiner, and he's going to explain to you the extent of Raul Ortiz's injuries. And he's going to tell you that, to his knowledge, he can at least see 3 distinct impacts on the victim's skull. In addition, you're going to see pictures of this. You're going to hear from Dr. Krasowski about how the optic nerve was so badly bruised. The optic nerve that's ingrained in your skull. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this was not self-defense. I anticipate that the defense is going to tell you about how Mr. Robinson was defending himself. Because when Raul Ortiz first came out, he swung with one punch. However, the issue is this. Once Mr. Robinson swung, he then stepped across the fence and the property line to continue to beat Mr. Ortiz while he was on the ground, on Mr. Ortiz's own property. That defendant went looking for a fight. He was angry. He knew he was upset. You're going to hear testimony from Mr. Robinson's own mouth, and he's going to tell you that he has a history of occasionally blacking out. Ladies and gentlemen, the state submits to you this. This was not self-defense. This was murder. The defendant knew when he left that property, when he saw the victim on the ground, that he was in trouble. And he needed to leave, come up with a story. Something that would make sense to explain the extent of these injuries. Three impacts, minimum. 2 people. Only one is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this trial, myself and Mr. Diaz are going to ask you to find the only reasonable verdict. And that would be guilty as charged. Because that defendant chose to continue to beat a man until he died. Until his face was so swollen that you couldn't even tell who he was. You get to make that decision. Thank you.